What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Boy, oh boy, do I have a video for you guys today. Today I really want to see if we can find what is the best deck for cardistry ever. Now, I know this is a kind of a hard decision because everyone has their own opinion, but I think the system that I'm fixing to explain will kind of help narrow down at least maybe the top 4 going into the top 2 and then the best. And it will all be based off of you guys' decisions. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so my idea for this video is I want to put 64 decks in a bracket. And then obviously we will either vote on them, or I will make a video where I do the first bracket, you guys do the second bracket based off of comments or a YouTube live or something like that. I've got big plans, but what I want to do is I want to take first off decks that you guys vote in. If I have them, I'll do them. If I don't, we'll just put a placeholder there, like I'll print out a picture of it or something, because I don't want the fact that I don't have decks to keep you guys from voting on which decks you think are some of the best decks for cardistry, because obviously I don't have every deck. A lot of people don't have certain decks that they really love, and so I really want to make everyone feel included here. So let me just show you a few that I'm going to nominate for some of the spots. Okay, so first off, we have the Orbit V6 and the V8. I feel like these are some of the best decks for cardistry that I own. I don't have a complete Orbit collection. I'm still working on it, but you know, for the ones that I have, I think these two are really good choices. They both handled exceptionally well, and I think they're both very good decks for cardistry and deserve to be in this bracket. The next 3 decks we have are the Series B V1, very cool deck. We have the Missing Playing Cards Ink, and we have the Missing Playing Cards Thermals. I think all 3 of these decks definitely deserve to be here. Are they the best cardistry decks ever? That's for you guys to decide, but I definitely think they're pretty sweet. You guys already know I had to throw a few weighty decks in there. So we have the Generation 1 by Luke Weighty and Kier Gomes. I love this deck, it's great for cardistry. We also have the Mono HEXA deck. These two, in my opinion, are Luke Weighty's best cardistry decks that he's produced thus far, or at least the ones that I own. And that's where they're going to be making this bracket. Okay, so we now have 4 more decks that I think should make it. We have the VENTUS V1, a very unusual stock, but a very cool stock nonetheless. Handles like a dream. Next deck we're going to be talking about is the Touch DERIVE deck. I think at least one touch deck deserves to get in this bracket. If you guys want more, comment down below. There will be other available spots for this bracket as well. But I think a touch deck definitely deserves to be in there for their stock. We have the Anyone Blue Echoes. You could go with any color of the Echoes, they're all in the same stock. I went with the blue ones because they're the ones that I like the most that are opened. I think those are spectacular. And we also have the Flux deck, which is a Lotus and Hidden Artplay collaboration. I love this deck a lot. It's super cool, and I think just for the specific design aspects of the deck, it deserves to be in this video. Okay, I just picked out 6 more decks here. The Chris Ramsey V3s, those are an excellent choice, I think. The Virtuoso 2015 edition, one of my favorites. A thicker deck, but a good deck for cardistry nonetheless, and very iconic. Anyone Blue Logos. These handle like a dream, some of the best handling Anyone deck that I have. We have the Black Dots, another iconic Anyone deck, and I think they are very well deserved of having a spot here. And now we have the Blue Checkerboards, another amazing deck, and the Red Houndstooth, which is one of my personal favorite Anyone decks that I own. Okay, I got more decks. I think these are the ARROWDYNAMICS V1. Haven't opened these yet, but I hear really good things. We'll throw those in there. The Venomous by Paperwave, a really cool deck. Mine aren't open, but I have handled them, and they're great. The Smoke and Mirror V8 reprints, some of the best handling cards I've handled this year. I've reviewed these, so if you haven't watched that video, go check it out. They're super cool. And the Slow Hands V2 by Nick Nisko and Kier Gomes. Such an awesome deck, such a good deck for cardistry, and I definitely think it deserves a spot here. Now, I love Fontaine's, the cards, not so much the company. But I love the cards, and so I tried to go a little lighter on the cards. So I just picked some of my favorites. If you guys want to see more Fontaines in the bracket video that will come out after this, just leave your comments down below. I'd really like to see what decks you guys want, because this is more about you guys than me. We have the Wine Edition Fontaines, one of my favorites. Green Supreme backs, my all-time favorite Fontaine. Those are sealed for reasons. The Carrots V3, super cool. I think these are the V3, could be wrong. Chocolate Fontaines, another amazing deck. We have the Rip and Dip V2 as well, super cool. And finally, the Hydrogen V1 limited edition. I love this deck. It's one of the best decks, again, I've handled this year. If you guys don't have a Hydrogen V2 Deuterium Isotope by Elemental playing cards, get one. You won't regret it. They're super awesome. Okay, so I did just pick out a couple more, just ones that I felt were worth doing. We have, these are the Peelers V3 by Organic Playing Cards, one of the best handling OPC decks I've ever used. We have the Quantum deck. If you guys haven't seen me talk about this deck before, it's a super awesome deck. It's printed by Cardamundi. I don't know if it's necessarily designed for cardistry, but I think it feels really good for cardistry, so that's why it's on this list. Next up, we also have the Blue Cherry Casinos. You have to throw a Cherry Casino in there. It's a classic. It's good for cardistry, good for Magic, and those, I think, will be all of my nominations. Okay, so I just laid out all the decks that I chose. There's a total of 30. Let me show you all again, and then let me explain kind of the rest of where we want this video to go. Okay, so I just laid them all out here. There are 30 total decks right here, and so that means you guys get 34 spots left to decide what other decks we're going to be putting in this kind of March Madness-y bracket. And it's also kind of fitting because the NBA playoffs are going on right now. But anyway, here are my 31st picks. I'm giving you guys more than half of the rest of the picks. So if I have the deck, we're going to put it in here. If I don't have the deck, I will get a picture of it online and cut it out as a placeholder, because I don't want me not having a deck to affect your choices as to what you want to see. Okay, so as I said before, you guys will have 34 spots. You can suggest any deck you want. If it is a cardistry deck, if it's not a cardistry deck, just make sure, you know, it doesn't have to be like decently well known, but just make sure it's like an actual, like, feasible deck of cards. What I mean by that is, like, don't put like a bicycle, like put like legitimate contenders you think are the best cardistry decks ever, and we're gonna try and find the best one. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. And the next part of this series, we are going to be making our official bracket, but this takes a lot of involvement from you guys. So if you guys don't comment, I just gotta put placeholders in for the other 34 spots. And I really don't want to do that. And so I just really need you guys' support and input. So if you wouldn't mind commenting on this video, I would really appreciate it. That being said, if you're not already subscribed, please do so. We're getting closer to 2,000 subscribers every single day. And that's about all I got. Thank you so much for watching. I am the Wooden Cardist, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out, you guys.